Hi guys, today's recording will be quite different. We are understanding how to install Linux as a whole operating system. We're going to be using the distribution of Zorin. We're going to be also using VirtualBox because I already run Linux, but for people out there who are not running Linux, you can create a bootable via Rufus if you're using Windows, and there is a Linux startup disk for Linux users who want to switch. Well, here we go. You put a name, and then you place it at other. If you don't know which Linux it is, just place an other Linux of 64-bit or 32-bit depending on your machine, and you go to the RAM where you can specify the amount of RAM. For me, I will give it a 2 GB RAM, which is 2048 MBs, and then I will give it a virtual hard disk, which I will go to expert mode and turn it to 10 GB. And then I will do the create, then it gives me that. Then the video memory, I will give it a 128 MB video memory. And then the secondary master, I will take the Zorin. Yeah, this is all. And then now we just have to start the whole virtual machine as goes. Yeah, it is as simple as that. So you try to reinstall Zorin OS, you press enter and it will boot on its own and it will load for you. Looks awesome, by the way, quite futuristic. Yeah. We can wait for it to load for a while. As it loads, you give it some time. It's loaded well, actually, very nicely. It will give you the install, so you can either try Zorin OS as a live operating system, or you can install it. I'll just choose the install option. It will blow you through the keyboard layout. Yeah, it has asked for that. Let me go back. So we started again. It's now waiting for the bootloader screen to come on, and the first time it asked us for some more space. I have added some more space on it. Hopefully this time it will actually work. Yeah, so we were to do the Zorin OS install, and then you go through the keyboard layout. Then we can do the updates on other software. Then yeah, I can now erase the disk to install Zorin OS, which should work perfectly for us. I'll continue. Yeah, the time, the place where we are, and then you just give it the name yours how you want it to be called entirely. That's what I want mine to be called. Give it a password. A strong enough password would be nice, just like that. You can choose it to require a password before login. Then it should start installing slowly. Give it time. This may take quite a lot of time, up to 1 hour sometimes, depends on the speed of your machine. Yeah, and let's just wait for it to install. I will fast forward through this. As well can see, we're still waiting for it to install. Like I said, it can take quite some time if it actually finishes installing. Just give it time and let it install completely. So as this installs, there are multiple advantages of using Linux to Windows. Maybe not all of them, because Windows actually covers a larger base of people, but that is for the basic human. For people who have aspired to be programmers or are programmers or are hackers, Linux happens to be a more stable operating system for heavier tasks than Windows. Well, it runs on virtually, it's lightweight, happens to work everything on terminal. Therefore, as you use it, you find it easier and easier and easier to work with. If you're a gamer, then I still would recommend Windows for you, but gaming on Linux is also growing nicely. There are places like Steam and Google Stadia who have actually developed a system where you can actually play games well enough on Linux as you would do on Windows. As we wait, you can still do every other task easily on Linux as you would do on Windows, and yet it won't be a large toll for your machine even as you go on. Yeah, it's almost finished. Could take quite some time though. I'll leave the links in the description below on how to get the Zorin operating system. I'll even upload them to my drive and everything. And how to install it, well, it's right there for you. It is not rocket science, it's quite easy to install. Just give it time. Make sure you have enough power in your machine to do the installation, and you have a minimum of a 2 GB RAM to do the installation. maximum, whatever your machine can handle, use that. But for minimum, use a minimum of 2 GB and a minimum space of 21 GB to install a Linux distribution. Any Linux distribution requires this. There are some Linux distributions which are quite heavy. They will require 60 GBs or larger. This I've only seen with Deepin Linux, which is more of a GUI based Linux than the rest. It is more of a person moving from Mac. Yeah, let's just give it time and wait for it to install. As you can see, it's now retrieving files, which happens to be faster. You can choose to skip this process. Choice is yours. I won't skip, but not even sure I can skip. Yeah, I think you can skip, I believe so. So you can just wait for the whole system to work out what it needs to work out. Let's give it its duration. And I will skip through all this situation, all these things that it's doing. I think I will just skip through them. As you can see, now it's configuring the systems, checking for the packages to install. It should just allow it to do it, to work its magic like it normally does. Normally should. It should work through it faster. Can now let it configure the hardware slowly. Is now unpacking and preparing the modules. As soon as it's done, you can restart your machine. Once you restart the machine, you will be okay. Mine it's loading a bit, but it will start in a short while. There you go. So as you can see, now all you have to do is press enter. It should now run well for us. As you can see, it has well started. You can just place the password that you put in earlier. It will open nicely. You can wait for it to load, and then it will open and give you a new set of possibilities. There you go. The virtual machine is now online. Zorin operating system. To the settings. It will still connect because it's a virtual operating system. The details. There you go. There is the Zorin OS. Now you can have it installed on your machine. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow we will be understanding the uses of Linux and every place that it can be applicable to you as a user, if you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an expert. Yes, thank you for watching. Have a good day.